Hi, Eric Lanask here at ITEXPO. We're at the Rio in Las Vegas, and joining me on the program today is Frederick Dickey from Sangoma. Frederick, thanks for joining me.
Good morning.
So, obviously, part of Sangoma's legacy is everything that you've done historically in the open source space.
Yeah.
But one of the things that maybe we can start talking about is obviously Microsoft has made a huge impact in the unified communication space. So, what is your involvement with Microsoft and particularly the Link ecosystem?
Yeah. We got involved in the Link ecosystem around pre-release OCS 10 or what was called Microsoft Link 2010, and we kind of leverage our components, our cards, the stuff that we used to sell in the open source space. But we've always operated the small and medium enterprise business segments, and surprisingly, we got a lot of requests around the world from all of our channels to see how we could get involved in Microsoft Link to provide a solution that's easier to implement and to install for the SMB market using Link. So, as with a lot of other vendors, we ended up certifying our session border controllers and certifying our voice over IP gateways with Link. But the other thing that we came up with is something that we call Express for Link, and it is a purpose-built appliance that includes not only the telecom gear that you need, but all of the Microsoft Link roles in the same box that allows an SMB to either deploy this as a standalone Link installation or can use it to couple it with Microsoft Office 365 and get all the other features of Office 365. So that is where, we have gateways now, we have SBCs, all of those certified, all part of the ecosystem, but also this kind of a quite unique box that can serve, it's like ready to go and serve SMB up to 1,000 users.
How much do you think there's a lot of businesses moving to the Office 365 environment?
Yes.
How much is that helping drive Link adoption, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, what's happening is it's surprisingly homogeneous around the world. Every customer I speak to, US based, I'm Canadian, in Canada, Asia, everywhere, they all come to it in the SMB side. They all come to it from the same angle. They have a PBX, they have a key system, whatever they have, could be legacy, could be IP, that works well for their phone system. But they start using Link and Office 365 mostly for instant messaging, presence, and that's how they start. And in it itself, it has value. It helps people, even small companies that have people all around the world to better communicate and share and stuff. But they start from that level, and then they slowly they realize, oh, I could use this now to make video conferences. We could replace our legacy installations everywhere and use this online. We could use it for plain conference calls. We can use it to do desktop sharing. And they kind of discover the feature set and make their way up in the offering. And then eventually coming to, my PBX is old. My service contracts are up. It's end of life or whatever it is. And then they realize that maybe instead of getting another PBX, whatever it's voice over, Link becomes a potential to become, but they're not coming at it from, I need to replace my PBX, I'm going to Link. It's more from a productivity, unified communication and collaboration angle.
Well, and it's not surprising that most of them start with the presence and IM capabilities. After all, that's pretty much what OCS was only good for.
Yes.
So now they're getting
Agreed.
to understand that Link has some significant advantages.
Yeah.
What about mobility? Obviously, I think you can't talk about unified communications today without talking about mobility and how it has impacted users.
Yeah. So for me, I'm personally I'm a user at Sangoma. We've of course we run our own gear, but we have Link and we have a legacy PBX, and And I had, not so long ago, I had my 2 devices. I used my Link on my computer, and I had my SIP phone, my voice over IP phone on my desk. And gradually, I moved away completely from my SIP phone. I just use Link. So now, when I travel, so I'm at home office, I'm remote from the head office. When I log into Link, I have access to all the features. It doesn't matter where I'm at, right? So that's one aspect of mobility. If I can be here in my hotel room during the show, I can log in, I look like I'm sitting at my desk, I can start a call, we can share, my PowerPoint presentation that I'll use later today, I can work with my colleagues. So it doesn't matter where I am at, and I have access to all the feature set. So that's one way of, I think it's just beautiful, right? That's just one thing that I log in, and I have all these, these features that I can use to make phone calls or collaborate. So that's one way. The other aspect is the ability to marry your Link account with your mobile phone. So I do it in a few ways. When I'm offline, I just forward everything to my mobile phone. Well, on my mobile phone, I personally use an Android device. We have guys in the office that have iPhones or Blackberries, but we all have a Link client running on our phone. So I can use that to check presence or do a bit of collaboration.
Right.
So for me, it's like I'm just transporting my office everywhere I am. If you might, to me, like I realized how powerful it was once I was in Asia. I was in New Delhi in my hotel room running a webinar to a bunch of Microsoft salespeople all over Asia. And all of that was done through a Link meeting and a way for people to, that's how I showed my presentation using Link meetings and doing it over a Wi-Fi network, reaching out. And I thought, that's great. It's just, I don't need a special setup or go to a special room so I thought, for me, a very specific case, but very representative.
Sure. Yeah. And you also mentioned video earlier. How much, are you benefiting from video, and on a broader scale, what are you seeing in general?
Yeah, video not so much. Like maybe at a start of a meeting, hey, how's it going? But it's more things shift very quickly on to, I don't know, I'm showing my spreadsheet or so I as a user, I don't see video much.
Collaboration a little more?
Yeah, it's more collaboration, sharing documents, working on things. You can even have whiteboards so you can start drawing things. So that's where I'm more of a user. But then you can think of, Link, the way with the ecosystem, I'm sure there will be tons of third-party vendors, in the ecosystem building very specific, very vertical, market-specific applications that would use video.
Sure.
We have customers in Russia, public utility, electrical utility that wants to use. They want to have their guys in the field to be able to wear like a video camera so they can connect with their peers back at the office to get, more support for. So those are more vertical, but I could see that in more specific cases where video would be used. But as a business user, hey, yes, how are you? Start the meeting, but then very, very quickly switch to a collaboration.
Well, certainly it will be exciting to see some of those specific verticalized use cases evolve.
Yes.
Frederick, as always, thanks for being on the program with us.
Thank you.